I'm looking at our Slack, and the link I had sent to the Hibbert interview, the preview picture it's just really funny. It's just Hibbert making a funny face, and I was distracted.
So you went 1-2 throw. Is that what you did?
Listen to the tape. I couldn't tell you. I'm looking at Hibbert's face.
Boy, he's got a spell on you, huh?
Mm-hmm. That's how I got all those blocks. Just look people in the eye and they just freeze.
Right. Yeah.
Just melt. They forget what they were doing.
Yeah, so just prepare to...
It'll be great.
It'll be perfect.
Y'all motherfuckers don't watch us play throughout the year, to tell you the truth. I'm gonna be real with you, and I don't care if I get fined.
I got my sweet jerk off. Put some strings on.
That train is off the tracks.
Who doesn't love the bouncy castle?
Hitler.
Just prepare to... just prepare to be awash in undebeatable goodness.
Welcome, Pacers fans. You were listening to the Undebeatables, your semi-weekly Pacers podcast. Today is October 29th, 2023, and this is episode 664. Coming to you from Indianapolis, Indiana. I'm your host, Joey Gaffrida, the man behind the dials. This week, we're going to discuss a 2-0 week of Pacers basketball, including games against the Washington Wizards and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Joining me this week are all three of our analysts, coast to coast, like buttered toast. First, from the high school home of Jamison Brewer, Silver Spring, Maryland, it's the doctor, Jason Triplett.
What is up, Pacers fans? What is up, Undebeatables? A couple shout-outs this week. Shout-out first to my band, Educators and Son. We played a benefit show as We Will Chalk You, a Queen cover band. And thanks to everybody that came out. It was a really fun time. Somehow learned ridiculously hard Queen songs and felt okay about it. So that was fun. Shout out to my soccer team who the following morning had a dramatic comeback win, scored a goal in the equivalent of the 90th minute, the 50th minute for us, but to get a win. But most importantly, shout out to my lovely wife Jill, with whom I celebrated an anniversary this week. So shout out.
Congratulations.
Shout out. Thanks.
From Asheville, North Carolina, he's our in-house bartender, mixing up the drinks in the crappy jingles. It's John with the Homogeneous zones, Colson.
What is up, Pacer Nation? What is up, Undegooglables? Shout out to the Pacers. As far as I can tell from the information that I have, we're going to go undefeated this season.
That's how statistics work.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. From Boise, Idaho, out west, it's our enforcer, John Harper.
What is going on, fellas? Big thank you to the Pacers organization for extending Rick Carlisle. Very excited. 63-year-old Rick Carlisle was extended to a multi-year deal. Also got his 898th career win this week. So He's staring down 900, hopefully, before we pot again.
Right.
Yeah.
So his original deal was 3 years. Is that correct? I don't know. We're anxious to get him locked in now that we're, undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, they did that after game one, and nice words from Pritchard said, quote, "It goes without saying that Coach Carlisle is one of the most creative and successful coaches in the history of the league. So there was never a question that he continues to be the right person to lead our team."
Nice. Shout out.
All right. Well, before we get too far into the show, would like to remind listeners that they can support us, the longest running Pacers podcast, by heading over to patreon.com/undebeatables, and you can support us for as little as $1 per month. Well, we're into, real NBA basketball. This is very exciting. This is something a little nice to look forward to, at the end of some of these days, and we got real basketball. So Pacers started out in friggin' sweet fashion. In fact, we're going to start out with my stat of the week.
Joey, stat of the week.
Game 1, Pacers win 143-120. But this is 143 is the fifth most points by a team in a season opener in the history of the league.
By any team.
Yeah, by any team.
Definitely not just the Pacers.
Right. No. 143.
That might be fifth most in franchise history.
It's up there. Number 1 was Golden State in 1990 with 162.
Whoa. It's going to be tough to eclipse this season.
Which actually is closely followed by the number 2 team, Denver, which was scored in the same game. It was 158-162.
A lot of defense being played.
And then Boston and a team that I am not sure who they are. It's SFW.
San Francisco Warriors.
San Francisco Warriors?
There we go. Maybe. That makes sense. I'd believe that. In 1967, they dropped 144. And then the Pacers, against a team that does not exist, the Seattle Supersonics. All these teams are moving around.
Yeah, and then we did it on opening night against a team that also doesn't exist.
So game 1, Pacers really putting the gas pedal down, dropping 143 to Washington's 120. Big standouts scoring wise that game. Bruce Brown, he hit 6 threes, which helped him along with his 24 points. Tyrese Halliburton, 20 points. He looked fantastic. Benedict Mathurin, 18, and Obi Toppin and Miles Turner both with 11, which you get all the double digits out of all 5 starters, plus Buddy Hield, Nemhard, and Jalen Smith in double figures. They looked real good that game. Moving into the second game last night, Pacers took on the Cleveland Cavaliers on the road in Cleveland, and when this one 125-113, there was a flurry of three-pointers to finish the game off, and there was no chance for Cleveland to get back into that one. Halliburton, I think, hit 3 consecutive threes, which basically just put the game out of reach towards in the last few minutes. He ended up with 21. Miles Turner, real nice game. 21 points, 12 boards, and Halliburton had 13 assists, by the way. So 2 double doubles out of those guys, and Aaron Nesmith, 26 points off the bench, on fire. Fantastic. So we're starting off 2-0. Colson, we're looking at an undefeated season, in all likelihood. The thing that I think that we need to look at now is, you don't win the championship in the first, with the regular season. Like the Warriors in, their ill-fated season was 73-9 and did not win the title.
That's right.
Should we learn lessons from them and take our foot off the gas?
I see, and not try to go undefeated.
Yeah,
sure.
Or we could just do it and say, hey, no one else has done this.
Yeah. Sure, or we could just try to rest up for the playoffs after we hit 76 or 78.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think there was some great takeaways this week. One, I think I texted the group that I thought I was accidentally watching the Pacers on 1.5 speed. I mean, they are just so fast, and they get the ball and they just run at all times, and that's how you put up 143. And then the other thing that I was been really excited about is seeing what the rotation was going to be, and we may talk more about that in the next show. But it looks like Nembhard and Neesmith are on the inside, and even Jalen Smith are on the inside of the bench. I guess McConnell got his minutes in game 2, but was not played in game 1. And Isaiah Jackson's not really seeing the floor. Either as Wara. So interesting stuff. I'm sure it's a long season and we'll figure this stuff out. But it was interesting what Carlisle came out with.
Yeah, you wonder. There will be matchup dependent things, but
sure.
Yeah, this was just super impressive. Like this 2 games of basketball are Colson's sort of wet dream of Pacers basketball. They shot the ball amazingly well in both games, and assisted in game 1. Had 38 assists on 56 field goals, and in game 2, 36 assists on 48 field goals. That's an average of something like 72% of buckets made are assisted, which your goal, Colson, is always 50%, right?
Yeah. So, we've raised the bar. My goal is 75 now.
Okay, good. So we did it once. We did it in one game. So
I want half of all baskets assisted.
Well, these guys are moving the ball, and in the Washington game, both Halliburton had 11 assists and Nembhard off the bench had 10 assists. It's amazing. It's super fun to watch.
Yeah, excellent start. Obviously, the competition level was not the highest in these 2 games. The Washington Wizards, slated to be one of the worst in the league. I'm pretty sure that at least 2, probably 3 of us had them as the worst team in the league. Not sure. Can't remember. Yeah, probably. And we got off to a little bit of a slow start in this game, honestly. It took a little while for us to find our season. Actually, I was watching without sound, and in my head, the season didn't start until the Cavs game. So I was like, I'm like, in the second quarter, I'm like, man, I'm really liking these guys' effort for a preseason game, man. These guys are getting after it, man.
They're going to put up 140 in preseason.
They're going to put up 140, they're not careful. And, I get to the fourth quarter, and I, of course, realized, but, super fun game to watch. I didn't turn the thing off. And then, obviously against the Cavs, just a horrific start against them. Go down, I don't know.
27-12.
27-12, I think was the... And brought in the bench. It looked like maybe they were going to make something happen, and then kind of fell down, and it really took some time for us to get it worked out. Especially considering that they're sitting, Garland and Mitchell.
And Jared Allen.
They're missing 3/5 of their starting.
Well, and Mobley. Isaiah, not Evan. But
it's
Mobley. Ricky Rubio didn't get any time. I mean, that's a lot of guys to play without. So we knew they were going to come out with a ton of injuries, so we knew we were going to have to weather that storm. But it really wasn't until... the game was closer than it appeared in the final box. It wasn't until, the latter half of the fourth quarter this really got decided. And at that point, some fan decided to get in Tyrese Halliburton's ear and let that be a lesson to fans on the road. Maybe don't talk trash about him talking trash to the refs, because he going to light you up.
Yeah,
he just looks like he's got command. Yeah,
because he struggled most of the game. I think he had 2 points in the first half and just couldn't find his shot, couldn't get loose. I mean, he was finding guys, he was creating things, but scoring wise for himself, and then he just lit it up in the fourth quarter. And yeah, like you mentioned, Joey, 3 straight threes down the stretch that just kind of iced the game. I mean, the Pacers had a comfortable, I would say, 8 to 10 point lead most of the second half.
A lot of body blows, but
yeah, Cleveland was getting close, like within 4 or even 2 maybe at one point, and then Tyrese said, "All right, enough of this. I'll just take this game over. Thanks very much."
Yeah, it feels like he's got a command of his own game right now. And you're right. I mean, even when he's missing shots, you just feel like he's making the right decisions. Some of the passes he's making is just ridiculous. And we knew that, but just watching it in real time is such a joy, you know. And just the no look to the corner 3, you know, that just happens 3 times a game, you know. And, you know, that makes guys wide open. And then that's why we're hitting a lot of 3-pointers. You know, and the pace is, you know, dictated by him. And, you know, we gave up a lot of points, and you're like, well, maybe that's the defense. It's not. It's our pace. You know, there's so many possessions. The other team's going to score points. I was actually really happy to see the defensive effort. And, you know, not every possession, but I really felt like we got after it. You know, particularly I was looking after Mathurin. And to see how he was, you know, presenting himself on the defensive end. And, you know, it's still hit or miss, but I felt like he was giving more effort maybe than I was giving him credit in our preseason, you know, predictions. That was good to see.
It'll be better this year, but, you know, I'm going to withhold judgment until we play a real team with their real starting 5 on the floor as far as that goes. I did love, you know, rather than just resting all our guys, we're going to be able to rely heavily on our bench and hopefully be able to work some load management out of that throughout the course of the season. So, you know, we didn't have to play, you know, Halliburton 35 minutes on opening night, right? We get to only play him 28. We put a game plan out there for Bruce Bowen. He goes nuts. Best debut for a Pacer. 24 points, 6 of 8 from 3. Ball touched him a lot, and he made good use of it. Super pesky on defense. Great outing for him. I don't know if we put something together for Nesmith in that game too, or whether he was just stoked for that extension. But boy, he sure found his way to the ball all game. 26 points, career high for him. Super, super great game for him. That was just awesome to see.
Yeah, no, he was celebrating his contract extension in style.
Yeah.
At 3 years, $33 million. Is that right?
That is correct.
So he will be basically it's him and Halliburton along with our rookies that are the now guaranteed contracts that will be here in 3 seasons. You know, as long as everybody stays together.
If he can keep doing that, we should extend him again, today. You know.
Yeah, exactly. Can we extend him a day every day?
Sure.
Right before a big game, maybe. You don't want to overdo it. You know.
Going to bog down the accounting department, I guess.
Yeah, another newcomer that I've been pretty happy with is Obi Toppin. I mean, his box scores aren't really going to, you know, stand out. You know, he's 11 and 4 or whatever each game, I think, basically. No, he had 4 points in the Cleveland game. But I've enjoyed his activity. I feel like he's made himself present on the defensive end. He hasn't been a hole. There was actually one play where, I mean, Evan Mobley was on fire that game, and there was a couple plays where Toppin actually stood up to him and made him take tough shots, which I thought was very impressive. And we don't need him to carry the scoring load, I don't think, really at all. So whatever we get from him is like gravy at some level, and he got a nice run-out dunk. Well, everybody got a nice run-out dunk against the Wizards, but he got an especially nice one. Yeah, so I think that so far is working out pretty well.
Yeah.
And,
I think first play of the season, we went to a little backdoor lob dunk to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's fun to watch. He gets up and down the floor, great for a big guy. So for a team who likes to run, he's going to have his impact. And got a couple blocks.
Yeah, no, I was watching on his the defensive side because he did exactly what you said he would do, which is he just jump out of the gym and get some alley-oops and whatnot. But I'm with you. I was concerned in preseason about his level of interest on the defensive end, but I felt like he was, poking balls away. He was in the right stance. He's not a lockdown defender, but he seemed engaged on that end, which is what I was concerned about. Really, everybody just seemed to like to play basketball these last two games.
Yeah, well, the activity level was super high, which is great to see. But also, it should be. I mean, even with our third unit out there, we looked pretty darn effective. I think we were the leading bench unit in the league last season, and based upon what we've done so far, you can expect that to happen again. I think we got 59 against Washington or something. These guys are going to be playing for minutes all season. Nobody gets to just sit there and be there. There's going to be a lot of competition up and down the roster to fight for more minutes. And I think this is one of those teams that can do it and have that competition and maintain a positive locker room, which is kind of a thin line to walk. But this could be a really special season for us. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, indeed, and it's a nice luxury to have, right? Because I think what we saw in these first couple games, especially coming out of the gates, is a little bit of hiccups from the first unit, especially on the offensive end. I don't think everybody's quite knows exactly what their role is and how everything's going to mesh, and that will come with time. And so it's excellent to have this deep bench. Both of those games, we got off to slow starts, and I was just like, all right, well, our second unit is just going to murder their second unit, so we'll probably make up this deficit or whatever.
Yeah, you know what fixes that is Buddy Hield just coming in like a flamethrower. Sure. It was like, oh, we're having a slow start. Buddy Hield's on the court with the starters, and boom, he's just lighting it up. So
well, yeah, and to have both Nemhard and McConnell to come in and just be table setters for everybody, right? Sure. I mean, Nemhard looked amazing in the Wizards game.
So good.
He is so under control, and because McConnell didn't get minutes until the very end of that Wizards game, and you're thinking I'm okay with this because Nemhard looks like he's ready to take the reins, and but then because of matchups, McConnell ends up getting a lot of minutes in the Cleveland game, and it was super effective. And that's such a luxury to have, to just throw out a guy there that's like a change of pace guy and gives energy and will get the crowd involved at home.
But we still kept Nimrod on the floor too. I mean, that's the thing. Your
they
ability to put him at 2, and you just have so many people that are willing to share the ball. I mean, we talked about in the preseason pod about whether we can keep this guy off the floor, and the answer is no. I mean, he's going to be playing over 20 minutes a game all season as long as he stays healthy. This kid's fantastic.
And what a luxury. You look at what he was doing in that Wizards game. It's like, well, now you can keep Tyrese on the bench a little bit longer on that first break and bring him back out against the second unit, which is just kind of cheating. I mean, you shouldn't be allowed to do that. They were already playing their second unit.
Wait, the Wizards have a first unit?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't get the memo.
What did you guys think of the Bilal Coulibaly experience? Were you?
He's very long.
I was kind of mad.
Active too.
Kind of mad we didn't draft him. Jarris Walker wasn't seeing any minutes.
I was hoping he was going to fall to us, but they picked him high.
Oh dear.
Yeah, he hit his first NBA shot bucket was a 3-pointer, and then he had 3 blocks, I think, in that game, and.
He was ball handling better than I thought he could for
didn't
how
look scared.
Yeah,
really
for how big he is. Yeah.
I mean, he's been playing professional ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's going to be something.
Yeah. We'll see how that shot develops. If he can be consistent.
Right. And when Wembanyama's unhappy in 4 years, he's going to go to the Wizards.
Yeah, I'm sure that's the direction of travel that's going to happen. Sounds right.
Hang out with his old friend Coulibaly.
Yeah.
I did the last preseason game against the Cavs at home. I did get some amazing seats thanks to Connor.
Oh yeah, we need to hear about this. You were on the court, right?
We were in row 3.
Oh my goodness.
Which was great, and there's the restaurant area, you get to go down there by the tunnel and stuff, and you hear them talking and stuff. But that game, so it was a preseason game, and it was significantly more contentious than I thought it should be. There were hard fouls on, it's a preseason game, and it was like from, rotation players were like banging on each other and stuff, and there was regular season intensity, there was regular season complaining to the refs. There was Georgian Yang was like running his mouth.
Hey,
like
he didn't
a lot.
stop until our next game with him was over.
That's super interesting that you observed that, because Quinn Buckner kept commenting on that during the game. He was like, "This is a playoff game. Like, this is nuts."
It was wild.
Yeah.
We were, I was like talking to Connie during the game. We both were basically like, we appreciated that they were doing that because it was like more fun to watch, But on the other hand, we're like, hey, like, don't get hurt out there, guys. This means nothing.
Well,
but
maybe the schedule setters know something, and having a couple teams have a couple early games against each other in the season, maybe there's a little extra in the tank for that preseason game.
So that is one possibility, which we've got that tournament game coming up real soon. But also there could just be something like maybe the schedule makers know about Georgian Yang, like maybe he's just an instigator, and maybe this is about him.
Is he bitter about our parting? Did we not take care of the man?
That's my first, that's my inclination, but like, cause he'd hit a 3 and then he would just go, just run in his mouth. Also, he also, to me, did not have the build that, his physique was not the same as many of the other players. You look at those guys, you're like, these dudes are professional athletes, and Yang looks a little doughy. But but he's out there, whatever. He's playing the game.
Yeah.
He's making shots. He's doing the stuff. But
so I think they mentioned on the broadcast that Halliburton and Niang are buddies. So
the Iowa State guys.
Yep, a little extra going at each other.
Sure.
I tell you what, I feel like that Cleveland team is going to end up being all right. Like, they're 1-2 now, but holy shnikes, are they deep? And they play defense like none other. And this is their, we saw their second and third units, right? And it was hard to score against them. So, yeah, they're gonna be good. And Mobley looks like he took a leap. So,
yeah, from that game that I watched, Donovan Mitchell did play, and he was, just filthy moves left and right. He's tough to guard. And Karis LeVert was that guy is still great. Max Strus was getting work done, and Mobley also was just kind of eating us up,
Well, you mentioned that in-season tournament game, Joey, on Friday. The Pacers actually have 4 games this week, 3 of them in the friendly confines of the Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Monday, October 30th, taking on the Bulls. That's a home game at 7 o'clock. Wednesday, travel to Boston to play the Celtics. That's a 7:30 tip. And then Friday, the first game of the in-season tournament, hosting those same Cleveland Cavaliers. And then Saturday, our first back-to-back of the season, hosting the Charlotte Hornets. That Cleveland game is the first of a 5-game homestand for the Pacers. So, good opportunity to get out to the field house to see these guys play over the next couple weeks. Predictions? 4-game week.
I'm going 2-2. I think we lose the Boston game, and then we lose the Charlotte game after a huge emotional win to go 1-0 in our group pool for the play-in tournament.
Okay, I like it.
Wait, Colson, are you? So that puts them at 80-2 for the year. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, no, that's my new prediction. Yeah, with 75% assist rate the entire season.
Yeah.
Okay. The 2 losses will be this week.
Yeah.
Get them out of the way early.
Appreciate that.
I'll take 3-1. I don't know if you saw. I think Zach LaVine posted 51, and they still lost to the Pistons.
Yeah.
Shout out Chicago.
It's gonna be a long season.
I'll take the sweep. This team's.
okay.
I'm buying into the hype. Let's do it.
There's only one way to get to 82-0.
That's right.
I'll do a 1-3, but we win our tournament game.
Get Cleveland.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're just way too focused on that. And
We
that's what it
rest
is.
everybody.
Hey, you know what though? You know what? We get you get hardware. You get hardware. You get to keep in the building
money.
if you win this tournament. So
It's true. I want to hang a in-season tournament banner in the Cambridge.
it's gonna be
Fieldhouse.
That's kind of the fun thing about having more than one thing to compete for, because then we get something.
I'm excited. I think they're all going to bring some extra juice on Friday.
All right. Let's see what happens.
Colson says the juice is loose.
Direct quote, I think.
All right. Well, in our normal cadence, which we are in now, we are going to be back with you Thursday this week to discuss some things in depth. Until then, you can find us on social media. We're on Twitter at Undebeatables. We're on Facebook.com/The Undebeatables. Our website is theundebeatables.com. There's a contact form there. You can use that to send us a message. We've got an email. Shout out at theundebeatables.com, and at the website /store is where you get your swags.
So, Joe, I was just reflecting on the two shows this week, and I know we're a little rusty. I'm concerned that you gave your stat of the week in the Monday show. Mm-hmm. Do you have a stat of the week for the Thursday show, or is everybody they ever got their stat of the week already? Because it's the stat of the week. If you do two, it's the stat of the semi week or whatever the hell it is.
That's true.
Also, I don't think Harper has the jingle. Like, what are you doing to us?
These are problems that we'll cross those bridges when we get to them.
Deal.
Okay.
For the architect Donnie Walsh and our once and always Hall of Fame coach, Bobby Sicklinard. Turn out the lights, the party's over, and basketball's back.
I took the boy down to the 100 Acre Woods because the reason I went there today was because there's that cool, basketball piece.
Mm-hmm.
And he loves, when we go anywhere, what he does is he points out basketball goals, and he just tells everybody that's all he pays attention to. So I was like, this is an art piece about basketball goals, so let's go there. And it was cool, and he loved it. And then he walked into the lake and fell down. Against my advice. So we cut that trip short. So
it was a little wet.
Yeah. So he just gets this little smile and is like, do not do any more. Do not take another step. And he just gets this mischievous smile and keeps going. This is the stage we're in right now.
Yeah. Tell me what.
I think that stage lasts until about 25.
Yeah. Yeah, it smelled like lake water on the way home. So, and since he had rain boots on, the water stayed in there, and he was making squishing sounds on the whole way back. So,
which he probably loved. That was hysterical.
Yeah, he just kept doing it. It was great.
Sound like this is your fault, Joey. You've created this monster.
I mean,
literally. Joey, I felt like you were early on your own go.
Is that even possible?
I don't know, man.
I thought I was the.
According to
I thought I was the trendsetter.
Kevin Garnett, anything is possible, Joe. Anything is possible.
I keep forgetting that.
Wait, was it on 3 or was it on go?
It was on
I can never
go, but
remember.
I didn't feel like I got my normal amount of time between the 3 and the go.
I see.
Maybe. Part of the problem is